Hi, I'm Veronica and welcome to Jersey City Pilates. For today's class, you're going to need a stool, the side of your bed, the side of a couch, a chair, anything like that will work. We'll use it on and off throughout class. And when you're ready, you're just going to come to stand facing your prop, feet right underneath your hips, standing up nice and tall, and then just bring your hands down onto the stool. And then bend your knees a whole bunch and think about widening your sitting bones and lengthening your chest forward. And like a gentle little extension here. And then press your feet into the floor, your hands into the stool, and then round your spine up towards the ceiling, looking at your thighs. Keeping your knees nice and soft. And then again, bend your knees maybe a little bit more and find that extension. Really think about widening the sitting bones, lengthening your chest. And then press up again. And then back down. 2 more, rounding your spine. And then coming back in. And last one, round your spine up towards the ceiling. And then find a nice neutral pelvis here. And then just think about pressing your hands into whatever you're using and sliding the heels of your hands back towards your thighs, engaging all around the shoulder and the armpit, and then release. And then again, think about pressing down and sliding your hands back towards you. Neck is nice and long. And then release. 2 more like this. Press down, slide them back. And release. Last one. And last time, slide them back. Good. And then from here, go ahead and take a seat on your stool. Towards the center of the mat. And just have your feet planted out in front of you. And just think about evenly pressing down through both legs so your legs are more or less active. And then you're just going to press your hands into your thighs, round your spine back. And then you can think about pulling the kneecaps or just pressing your heels of your hands back towards your hips as you lengthen. And then again, round your spine. Again, just thinking about that articulation in a little different manner now. And then back through. And still thinking about widening your sitting bones as you lengthen your chest and then bringing them narrower, closer to each other as you round back off of your sitting bones. 2 more. And back down. Last one. And down. And then pause here at the top in a nice supported, stacked tall position. And then you're going to bring your hands behind your head. And just think about growing an extra inch tall, and then elbows are in your periphery, but think about side bending up and over to the right side. So not only are you lengthening the left side, but you're not just collapsing to the right. You're keeping that space and lengthen, and then slide those left rib cage towards your left hip. And back up to the center. Again, keeping your feet firmly planted into the floor. And over to the left. And up. 2 more. Breathing as you go. Last one. Make sure that you haven't started pressing your head forward. Chin is gently tucked. And then stay up tall. And then keeping that length, you're going to rotate over towards the right. And then back to the center. And then over to the left. And back to the center. Get over to the right. And center. Like your spine is a post and you're just rotating around it. Keeping your elbows the same distance away from your head, so you want to make sure you're not leading with the arms. Last one, pause to the right. And then open both arms up long. And then bring them behind your head, and then come to the center. We're going to stay just turning to the right. 4 more. Extend the arms out, bend them in, and center. 3. And center. 2. And last one, over to the right. Extend the arms, and then reach your arm back behind you, and just get a little side bend towards whatever the back behind you is, that nice diagonal, and then come all the way forward. And then you're gonna switch to the left. So hands behind the head again, pressing the feet firmly into the floor, twist to the right, open up the arms, get a stretch across your chest, bend the elbows, and then come back to the center. Over to the left, open, and center. And back. 2 more. And center, last one. And then reach back with that left arm, then reach the right arm up. And then come all the way forward. And you're just gonna bring your hands forward. You can bring them whatever you want. Just bring them in front of your body. Lean yourself slightly forward and then stand all the way up tall. Keeping your stool now behind you. You're gonna sit back and you're just gonna touch your butt to the chair and then stand all the way back up. And then sitting back and stand up. 3 more just like this. 2. And last one. Good, coming all the way up. Take 1 step forward with your left leg and then bring your right foot onto the stool or chair, whatever you're using. A little lower will be easier. If this feels uncomfortable at any time, just bring your foot back behind you into a normal split stance position. So you're gonna send this right knee towards the floor as your left leg goes forward and stand all the way up tall. And then again, coming down into that lunge and back up. Really putting weight into that left foot as you hinge down and back up. You can think you have a little angle from the torso as you lower down, keeping your neck in line, and your knee can go over your toe as long as it's in a nice straight line from your hip over your toes, because in life our knees go over our toes all the time. 4 more. 3, 2, and last one. Stay halfway down, and then you're just gonna bring your right leg in front and then slide it back behind you to the chair. Stand all the way up, come halfway down. Hinge at that right hip, bring your leg parallel to the floor, and then bring that foot back and stand up. 5 more, bring it forward, slide it back, and up. Working on a little bit of balance. You can obviously hold on to something. Make sure those toes on your left foot are spread nice and wide. And you can, of course, do this with your right foot on the floor. And that last one. Bring it back and stand all the way up. I'm going to come onto the other side, but go ahead and spin so that your right leg, your left leg, put one leg on your stool. And then from here, reach down towards your foot. Have your knee facing forward so your hips are squared to the front. Reach down your leg and side bend up and over to the side of your prop. And then come all the way up. And again, side bend up and over, really getting a stretch into that hip, obliques maybe even, and back up. 2 more. And last one. Good. And then leaving that leg on the prop, bring your hands behind your head again. This time you're going to side bend, or not side bend, kind of find a nice long line from your foot that's on the stool all the way to the crown of your head. And then you're going to side bend up and over. And then again, find that long line and then back over. Trying to keep reaching through the foot on the stool. Your hips stay still. A little bit of softness in the legs standing on the ground. 6 more. 5, 4, 3, Make sure you haven't started to lift that foot off. Let it be heavy on the stool. Last one, like this. And then you're gonna pause in that long line and you're gonna rotate towards the floor and then back to the center. And then rotate towards the floor and then out in front of you. Just rotating through the upper body. The hips are staying nice and still. 4 more. 3, 2, and last one. And then come all the way up. One last side bend towards the stool. And then come all the way up. And we will change sides. So now your left foot will be on the stool. Right foot in front. And then from here, adjust your distances as you need. And you're just gonna bring your hands forward of your torso or on your hips, coming down into that split squat, and then down and up. Keeping your feet kind of wide. You don't want them super narrow. You're not trying to be on a balance beam here. 7 more. 6, 5, nice and slow. Keeping that gentle tuck of the pelvis as you go down. Making sure your knee is tracking right over your toes. 2, and last one. Come halfway down. Bring your left knee into tabletop, and then slide it back, and then stand all the way up. And then again, halfway down, bring that leg forward, back, and stand. And up, and forward. 4 more. Again, torso stays nice and still. You're bending, keeping that weight in the right leg as you bring the left leg forward, send it back, and stand. 2. Last one. And up. Good. And then from here, you're gonna rotate and put your opposite foot now on the stool. Reach down, first knee, hips, all facing in front of you, and then take a nice side bend here. And then come all the way up. And again, side bend, we're gonna do this 3 times. Your hips are like mine, super, super tight from sitting too much. This feels lovely. Last one. Come all the way up, bring their hands behind your head. Press your foot into the mat, into the stool. Come out to that nice long line. Find the reach from the foot all the way through the crown of the head to that long diagonal, and then side bend up and over. And lift and extend. And then think about really side bending up and over, keeping the length through that side instead of just hiking your hip to bring your hip to meet your ribs. Let your ribs meet the hip. Make sure you're in a nice long line here. Your torso hasn't started collapsing forward. 3 more. 2. And last one. Good, come out to that nice long line and twist and rotate just from the upper body. The hips stay reaching forward, pointing. I guess they're not reaching. 5 more. 4, 3, 2, and last one. Good, side bend up and over one last time. Stay here for a moment if it feels good. And then come all the way up and bring yourself so that you're gonna come onto your back, but you're gonna let your legs rest on the stool. And by doing so, you more or less want your knees underneath knees over your hips. So you're kind of at a nice supported 90-degree angle here. And then you're just gonna lay back and bring your hands into cactus position here. Just take a big inhale and just sort of feel your body settle. The weight be taken out of your legs. You can let your legs relax. And then from here, palms of your hands on the ground. You're gonna slide your arms up as far as you can, keeping them on the ground. And then slide them back to that cactus position. So this may be difficult before your arms want to totally lift off the ground. You can feel maybe one wants to lift sooner than the other. My left one wants to come up quicker. And also I want to flare my ribs and arch my back. So just trying to find where you can get that little stretch, but staying connected. 4 more like this. 3. 2. And last one. Stay here for an extra breath. Enjoying the stretch. Through the armpits, the chest. Good. And then bring your hands behind your head. Right to where the base of your skull meets your spine or your neck. And then just curl the head, neck, and shoulders up off the floor, keeping the legs nice and relaxed. And then you're just going to lower all the way back down. And then again, curl the head, neck, and shoulders up. Think about sliding the ribs towards the hips and lower down. And lift. Inhale as you go in one direction. Exhale the other, whichever version works better for you. Make sure your gaze is gently down your nose, keeping your neck protected, and then press your head back into your hands. We're going to do 3 more like this, and we're going to pause at the top. 2. And last one, hold here. Rotate up and over towards the right, towards one direction, doesn't matter, we're going to both, and then the opposite. Keeping your torso centered, or lifted rather, in the center. And think more rib leads the way than your elbow. Don't worry about your elbow going anywhere close to your thigh. Think about the trunk rotation. For 4, 3, 2, last one to the last one, good. And then come to the center and pause here. Reach your arms long by your side. Take a big inhale. And then reach your arms up by your ears. Press down through the arms, keeping the shoulders nice and relaxed. Again, taking the legs and hip flexors. Well, the hip flexors are still working, but maybe that tension and discomfort out. And lift the arms up and back down. Make sure your chin is not glued to your chest. You have a little bit of space. You can move your head around if you need. Lifting the arms for 2. And last one. Reach through the fingertips, lift a little higher, and then lower all the way back down. Reach the arms overhead. Curl the head, neck, and shoulders up as you reach the arms down. And then lower all the way down. And lift. Only 2 more like this. And last one. And then lower all the way down. Bring your feet off of your prop and then slide yourself back so your heels come on. So you want a decent distance. You want your knees under your hips, but just your feet on here. Having your head firmly planted, we're going to do a little bit of bridging. So before we lift our hips, you're going to have your arms down by your sides. Find the space across your chest. And then just press your heels into your prop, feeling the engagement through the hamstrings, the calves, maybe the glutes, the pelvic floor. And release. And then press down, find that connection. Similar to what we were doing with armpit connection at the very beginning of class. Press the heels down. And release. 2 more. And release. Last one. Pause, keep that, and then keep pressing down until the hips lift up. Keeping yourself in a nice neutral pelvis here, and then lower back down. And release the heels. Press the heels down, lift the hips up, and down. 3 more. And down. 2. Last one, pause here. Hips are not very high, like a hand or two's width underneath you. And then you're gonna lift your right heel up, and then bring your knee into your chest, and then extend your leg long. And then bring your knee into your chest, and extend it long. Keep pressing down through that left leg, keeping your hips nice and square and a neutral pelvis for 3, 2, and last one. Bend the knee, bring that foot down. Press down through both heels. Lift through that left heel. Bend the knee in and extend. And bend it in and extend. For 6. Relax through the shoulders. Make sure you haven't started to pull them up. 3, 2. Last one. Lower that heel down. Feel the weight be nice and square between the feet, and then lower all the way down, release, and extend your legs long. Just let them rest here for 1 second. You can do a little side to side. And then when you're ready, you're gonna leave your legs long, tuck the tailbone under, and start to peel yourself off into that bridge, the legs lifted. If this at any time is uncomfortable, just go into a normal bridge with your feet on the floor. And then peel yourself all the way back down, thinking about pulling yourself closer to your feet. And then again, curl the tailbone under, lift up, reach. Curl that tailbone under, find that space in the spine, and then peel yourself all the way back down. 2 more like this, curl the tailbone under, lift. Shoulder blades remain on the ground. Last one. And then lower all the way down. From here, bring your hands up towards the ceiling. You can reach them slightly back behind you if you'd like. Curl the head, neck, and shoulders up. Find your ab curl. Nice neutral pelvis. Lower yourself all the way down, but stop with your arms above your chest. Curl the tailbone under. Find yourself in that bridge. A little bit more challenging without the arms. Now you're going to lower all the way down, find your neutral, and then lift the head, neck, and shoulders. So we're alternating lifting lower body, upper body, rounding as you lower, and then rounding as you lift the upper body. We're going to do 2 more like this. And up. Last one. Curling up into that bridge. Legs are heavy. Then release the tension through the legs, and then lift all the way up. And lower yourself all the way down. And bring your knees into your chest and give yourself a little hug. Checking the time here. Perfect. Plenty of time. All right, so you are just going to move your prop out of the way, and then you're going to come back onto your back. Lowering all the way down, bring your legs all the way together. And you're just going to do a windshield wiper over from one side to the other. Then over to the left. Good. And then over to one side, or the opposite side last time, and then pause in the center. And then from here, you're going to bring your hands behind your head. And you're going to curl your head, neck, and shoulders up. Find a nice, comfortable height where you can spend a moment. I find going onto my toes is a little bit easier. And you're going to keep your torso lifted. And you're going to send your legs over to one side. And then back to the center. And then over to the other side. And then back to the center. I did this in a class I took the other day. It was great. I loved it. So we're doing it again. And over to the left. Shoulders stay on the floor. Make sure your chin is not pressing into your chest. Over to the left. And to the right. Good, pause with your legs in the center. Now you're going to send your right rib towards your left hip like we did before. Just 4 to each side. Again, not worrying about the elbow. Thinking more about the ribs and the twist through the through the torso. Last time to each side like this, and then we'll combine them. Good, pause in the center. Legs to the left, torso to the right. And then pause or come through center as you switch. And switch. Breathing as you go, noticing if you're inhaling to one side, exhaling to the other. Or doing one breath through each motion. We're going to do 2 more to each side here. And then we're done with the flexion. Last one. And to the other side. And then lower all the way down. Bring your feet as wide as the mat. Come find that cactus position with your arms, and then let your knees just fall in towards one another and take a second. Take a nice big inhale. And then exhale. Try to feel yourself get a little heavier on the floor. And then you're going to extend one leg and the other. And lengthen your arms overhead. Curl the head, neck, and shoulders up. Reach the arms towards the feet. And then draw the ribs as close as you can towards the ribs. And then curl all the way up. Reach long over your legs. And then stack yourself up nice and tall. From here, you're going to come into all fours. Having your knees right underneath your hands. Your knees are not underneath your hands. That'd be difficult. In this position, from here, go ahead and extend your right leg long. And then you're just going to flip your toes under so that your toes are spread nice and wide. And you're just reaching your heel back, finding length through the front of your body. And then you're going to float that leg up and then tap the toes down. And then float it up and tap it down. Finding that connection between the heels of your hands dragging back so you have a little bit of armpit connection and support. Neck is nice and long. Think about lifting up through the heel for 3, 2. Last one, leave it lifted. Internally rotate your right leg so your left foot will go out to the side. And then you're just going to pull yourself open into a little side stretch here so the hips are facing forward. And then you're going to rotate that arm back down, rotate your hips to the floor. Left leg stays stable as you open up to the right. Right leg keeps reaching long. And then lower back down, square the hips. 2 more like this. And back down. Last one, like this. And down. Good, you're going to lower that leg down, lift, and now rotate. Rotate back towards the floor, lower the foot, lift the foot, and rotate and open. 4 more. And back down. 3. Really thinking about squaring your hips forward and then squaring them back towards the floor. 2. And last one. Drop that foot down, reach the hips up, press the floor away, and take a nice side bend. Good, and then come back to the center. Square your legs off. Find that all fours positioning again. And then from here, you're going to extend your left leg back, curl the toes under, and then reach back through the heel to get a little stretch first through the calf. And then find that length through the torso, heels of the hands dragging back as you lift that foot up and lower down. And lift and lower. For 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one, leave that leg long. Internally rotate on that right leg. And then press through the right hand, open up towards the left. Hips are square to the left. And then coming all the way back down, re-square your hips. And back up. And open. And back down. 2 more like this, and then we'll add in the leg lift. Last one. Good, keep pressing down through that right foot. So lower the leg, lift, and then rotate open. Going as slow as you need to be nice and controlled here. 4 more. 4. And twist and lift. You can probably hear Noah attacking my husband in the background. 2. And last one, lift through the leg, twist and rotate. Lower the left leg, press through the right side, lifting towards the ceiling and side bend. And then come all the way back to all fours again. And then bring your hands slightly forward and slightly wide of your shoulders. And then you're just going to bend the elbows back and place the forearms on the floor. And then send yourself back up. So think about externally rotating the arms and then sending the forearms down and then pressing through the hands to lift up. Externally rotate the arms, press down and lift. Externally rotate, bend the elbow, and then press all the way up. Last time, you're going to pause in this forearm position, and then you're going to walk your knees back. You can either find yourself in a kneeling forearm plank, or if you'd like, tuck the toes under, and then feel like you're dragging your elbows towards your hips to bring your torso forward. From here, you're going to roll your hips over to the right, feet go to the outside edge, and then come back to the center. And then roll your hips open towards the right and center, and to the left and center. And if you can keep your gaze center, or if you want to look, that's fine. Just make sure your spine is in a nice long line. You're not letting your head fall. Pause here in the center. Take a breath in for 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, and then lower all the way down. Bring one cheek to the ground. Your forearms can stay right where they are. And then again, find that little connection, find the activation through the back, and bring your feet a little wider if you'd like. Drag the elbows, heels of the hands, forearms, everything back towards your hips. Gaze towards the floor, and then lengthen up into a nice extension here. Hips and pubic bone are nice and stable on the floor, and lower yourself all the way back down. And keeping that connection through the back, lift up and down. And lift. And down. And up. And down. 3 more. 2. Last one, pause here. Lift the forearms off the floor and then place the arms back down. Keeping yourself lifted, you're going to lift the arms, lower down, and lift, and lower for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, lower all the way down. Bring your cheek to the opposite side, or opposite cheek to the floor rather, and then give your hips a little wiggle from right to left on the floor. And then press yourself back into a child's pose, letting your torso really kind of melt down towards the floor, letting your collarbone be nice and wide, let your arms externally rotate. And then coming to all fours one more time. You're going to bring your right hand, back of your right hand to your forehead. And you're just going to press and rotate open and down to the floor. Hips stay square. Rotating again through the torso. 3 more. 2. Last one. Come here to the center. Bring your right arm in line with your shoulder. Reach that hand overhead and pull it back in. Think like you have an imaginary bungee cord or resistance band on the wall in front of you, and you're just pulling it back, but then keeping that space between your ear and your bicep as you extend the arm long. For 4, 3, 2, and last one. And then plant that hand down, curl the spine up towards the ceiling. Take a second to reset. Find your extension, and then find yourself in that neutral spine. Left hand, back of the hand to the forehead. Try not to get your hair in your eyes. And then open up towards the left, and then back towards the floor. Press and open to the left, and back down. Hips stay nice and quiet. 4 more. 2, and last one. Pause with yourself squared towards the floor. Bring your left hand in line with or just below your shoulder, and then extend it out long. And then again, think like you're pulling back an imaginary resistance band. For 6, 5, 4, 2 more. Last one. Lower that hand down. Reach your hand slightly out in front of you. Curl the toes under, and then lift yourself up to find a down dog. Bend your knees a whole bunch. Take a second to get a nice stretch. You can start to extend your knees if that feels good, and then walk your hands back towards your feet. And just hang for a second. Let your stomach totally relax. Your knees are nice and bent. Your head is heavy. You're just a ragdoll. And then from here, make sure your weight is centered on your feet, and then start to curl your spine, tailbone 1 vertebrae at a time. Stack yourself up tall. And grab your prop one last time. Okay, perfect. So from here, you're gonna have it towards one end of your mat, and you're gonna come bringing your feet out to the back. So you can hold on to the sides or just place your hands straight on. If it's a soft surface, you can always do this on a wall or your kitchen counter. So your legs are behind you. Tuck the tailbone under, find that engagement through the armpits. You're in a nice long line, nice long spine. From here, you're gonna lift your hips up, find basically a down dog, and then come back and find that plank. And then find your down dog. Getting that stretch, knees can be soft, and then coming forward. And find your down dog on a wall. Same thing, you're just folding in half, and then finding your plank. Obviously, you're a little bit more upright, but same motion. 2 more. Last one. Pause here in your plank. You're gonna lift the left heel up and tap back down. I said left, I'm moving my right. Just stay on one side, doesn't matter what side. I'm extra bad with right and left this morning. For 3, 2, last one, keep it lifted, bend the knee in underneath you, and then reach it long. Bend it in and reach it long. For 6, 5, 4, 3, in a nice stable position here. 2, last one. Lower it down. Send yourself back, find that little down dog. Knees bent, get your stretch. Find that plank one more time. Lifting up through the opposite leg. Reaching up through the heel just as we did in all fours for 4, 3, hips are square, 2, last one. Bend that knee in and then extend. Bend it in and extend. 6 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one. Extend it long. Lift yourself one last time. Find that down dog position. Last time you're gonna find yourself in your plank, except I'm gonna use the wall. It's a little easier for me. So, you're in your plank position. Top of your plank, you're gonna bend your elbows back toward your hips and then press away for push-ups for 10, 9. Same thing we do on the floor. Tailbone gently tucked under. Your chest, head, and hips are all lowering at the same rate. 3, 2, and last one. Pause here, find one last of those down dog positionings. And then come all the way up, sit on top of your prop. And then one last time, like how we started, hands behind your head. You're gonna twist and rotate over to the right. Just notice there's a little bit more ease here. Open the arms, and then side bend up and back. And then side bend forward. One more time to the back. One more time forward. And then round yourself forward. Lift your spine up nice and tall. Hands behind your head. Rotate over to the left. Open out the arms. Side bend backwards. And side bend slightly forwards. Once more back. And forwards. And then round your spine all the way forward. Really hollow yourself out. And then find that little extension. And then find yourself in a nice stacked tall position. Reach your right hand towards the bottom or towards the floor or next to you. Side bend to the right. Legs are relaxed, just gently pressing down into the floor. Come all the way up and side bend over to the left. And then come all the way up tall. Reach both arms up towards the ceiling. And then press down through the arms. Grow nice and tall. Find yourself in a nice, supported, tall, seated position. And you are all finished. Thanks.